Hey everyone, Mr. Scriber here. So today we're going to be talking about economics industries. And your objective is I can define and give examples of industries, as well as I can describe the distribution of goods and services. Now, the three economic questions that will be answered today that we're trying to answer are: what goods and services will be produced? How will goods and services be produced? And how will goods and services be distributed? So, goods and services are in the industry. Well, what is an industry? An industry is a group of companies that are related based on their primary business activities. So, every industry can be different. Agriculture industry, for example, is anything related to cultivating plants, crops, and livestock. The role of agriculture in the world economy. So take a look at this map. It's color coded. If you'll notice here, here's my cursor, where it is 50% or more that the agriculture makes up that economy, it's going to be really, really dark green, and so on and so forth. It's going to scale down 20% to 49, 10 to 19, 5, and then less than 5, and then not ranked. So you can see here, Canada is not ranked. The United States is going to be less than 5%. But you see, there is a lot of countries here on the continent of Africa that fall under the categories between 10 and 49%. So, in which of these regions of the world do you notice agriculture is an important part of the economy? So, like I just said, you're going to notice that in Africa, in the region, the Northern Africa and Sub Saharan Africa, this would be Northern Africa, this would be Sub Saharan Africa, there is going to be a large agriculture economy. Okay. As of 2018, agriculture only represents 3% of the world's GDP, down from 4% in 2010. Even though agriculture represents a small share of the world's economic output, this industry employs almost 30% of all workers. Developing countries are more likely than developed countries to rely on agriculture as a larger percentage of their GDP. So we're talking about third world countries. United States would be considered first world country, where we talked about it in class yesterday. GDP, United States is ranked very high. We're number one, and our overall GDP is also very high. But in other countries like India or China, it's got a lower GDP, which means per person, they don't get paid as much. But agriculture is predominant, or is 30% of all those workers in those areas. Oh. And then overall agriculture as a share of total of GDP is highest in countries in Africa and South Asia. Then we have the retail industry. This is where the sale of goods is on a small scale. Retail sales, month-to-month percentage change, including fuel, seasonally adjusted. So 2016, 17, 18, 19, 2020. You see it's pretty consistent, not really changing much. And then 2020 hit and it dropped a whole bunch. And this is a source for Office for National Statistics. So based on that, this question: what do you think caused the steep decline in retail sales in the year 2020? COVID. So, what do you notice about the information in the chart? So, this chart's title is COVID Accelerates Declining Retail Industry. So, that should give us a huge clue that that is what affected the sales of the retail industry across the board. So, store closures in 2019 are marked in the red. Estimated stores remaining in 2025 is in the blue. So this is an estimate based off of what that year was like. Manufacturing industry. Anything related to the creation of products or goods from raw materials like metal and plastic. This is a map of the world's manufacturing output. So the question we're looking to answer, which countries have the largest manufacturing industries worldwide? So which countries? Well, if you noticed, each of these little gears is a country. So which countries have the largest manufacturing industries? If in that moment you thought China, Germany, or the United States, you would be correct. You would be absolutely correct. Who has the largest? That would be China at $4 trillion. The service industry. These are jobs and businesses that provide a service to a customer, like a waiter or waitress, a teacher, or a physician, nurse, or doctor. The role of services in the world's economy. So, in the United States, what percentage does the service industry play? If you said 70% or more, because right here is the United States, you would be correct. You would be absolutely correct. So, services percentage of GDP, United States, the darkest blue we have, 70% and greater. The reason why Alaska is dark as well is because it is a part of the United States. And then we scale down 60% to 59.9 and so on and so forth, all the way down. As the colors lighten, the percentage gets lower and lower. All right. So onto your individual portion of your assignment in your slides. You are going to drag these photos and drop them where you believe they belong. So all the photos are outlined with the, I would say, peach colored dashed lines. And on your set of slides, you are going to drag and drop where you believe they belong. So I'm going to exit full screen view so I can actually drag and drop. So I'm going to do this one since it's right in the middle and easiest to click. For example, when I look at this picture, this gentleman looks like a chef or a waiter. And I remember that was the service industry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this photo, drag it over to the service industry, resize it in case I have any other pictures, and I'm going to move on to the next one. So I'm going to undo that so that way when you guys create your copy, it won't be answered for you. But that's how you'll answer these these categories right here when sorting the pictures into agriculture industry, retail industry, manufacturing industry, or service industry. So there in total is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 photos, and you'll be responsible for sorting them out correctly. Now, to the second part of this lesson, economic distribution. By the end of this, you should be able to say, I can describe the distribution of goods and services, as well as I can describe the role of geography in the distribution of goods and services. So the 3 economic questions we're looking to answer. What goods and services will be produced? How will goods and services be produced? And how will goods and services be distributed? That's where we're at right now. What is distribution? So distribution is the action or process of supplying goods to stores and other businesses that sell to consumers. So I'm going to play this video, and then after the video, we will move on to the next slide. So, how does geography affect the way goods are distributed? Which location, A or B, do you think has an easier access to a variety of goods and services? Also, tell me why. Now, the answer here is location B. Our reasoning is location B has better access because it is located near the ocean, which means it is closer to trade routes and shipping channels because most things are shipped by water, by cargo ship on the water. Now, geography affects how goods are distributed. Harbors or ports, airports, rivers, electricity, interstate highways. Access to all of these means easier distribution of goods. So, in the United States, we have access to all of these forms of distribution. So, we're able to transport things all over the country. When they come into, let's say, the port in New York Harbor, we're able to distribute that all around the country by any of these means, whether it be airports, rivers, through electricity, if it's digital, or interstate highways. You can even transport them on water still. So, what do you notice about the locations of the states and that contribute most to the country's GDP? Where are most of these states located? If you said they were located off the water, you would be correct. All right here would be the Atlantic Ocean. Right here would be the Gulf of Mexico. And over here would be the Pacific Ocean, all located along water. Now you're going to click here to access the Nucella article. You must be signed in with your NISD email to actually read it. The title of it will read Effects of Economic Globalization. So you will click that and read it on your own. When you click it, it's going to open up its own link. Like we said, you have to be logged in to your student account. So you would click sign in and you would hit with Google. And then mine is automatically going to sign me in with my student account. And you would say, yes, that is correct. For me, it's going to be teaching. It's the first time I did it, so now we are good to go. You as a student will not have to do so much. Now, after you do that, you're going to read the article. Let me exit. There we go. Now, a lot of these are what type of map? They are thematic maps, all with different types of themes. So this theme would be natural resources. It also has land use. Then we have top exports in the world. So here is our legend to let us know what we're looking for. And again, I would say these are pretty good maps. And then also top imports. So remember, we talked about it yesterday. Exports are what countries send out. Imports are what countries take in from other countries. Now, the value of industry's top selling products. So in here, we have each state with our legend here that lets you know which industry is which industry makes that state the most money. So make sure you make note of the legend when looking at all of the states. For Texas, it would be what? Mineral products. Okay, mineral products. Now, lastly, globalization. You guys are going to watch this video and then you are going to fill out the pros of globalization and the cons of globalization. You need 3 for each. Let's go ahead and check out this video. All right, now that we've watched the video, go ahead and fill in 3 pros to globalization. Now let's fill in 3 cons to globalization. Alrighty, y'all. Once you have completed your pros and cons for globalization, that is it for today. Remember, your objectives were clearly stated. Economic industries, you should be able to define and give examples of industries, and you also should be able to describe the distribution of goods and services. And that is it for today. So if you have anything missing, you have over the weekend to get it completed for my class. Grades will be up to date. And next Friday, report cards for grades are locked in. So remember that. If you have anything missing, email your teachers, email me. Let us know how we can help you, okay? All right, you guys have a great weekend, and we will talk to you later.